Good morning, and welcome to today's session of Moments with Clara. I'd like to thank you for allowing me each week to be with you for these few minutes. It is special to me to be able to talk with you. I appreciate when you email me, when you comment on the videos. That's a big encouragement to me. Wanted to start by saying that, so thank you. Today we're going to talk about that tricky beast called grief. And grief is a very tricky beast. Just when we think that maybe we have that beast tamed, it rears its ugly head again and just knocks us flat. And it often appears out of nowhere, doesn't it? I know that's happened in my life multiple times. And there are two things that I want to share with you today that have helped me throughout the years dealing with the loss of two sons, as well as the loss of a marriage and the loss of all of my finances. There have been multiple losses in my life, and I found that these two things have never failed to help me. And I know that they will not fail to help you either. The first one is forming friendships. And I know right away many of you will balk and say, well, I don't have any friends that I can share my grief with. We all have someone at least that will listen momentarily. And that is so very important. I know out of the thousands of people that I know, I have 2 or 3 people that I can share the innermost thoughts and pains and desires and goals and griefs with. And they simply listen. They don't offer advice. They don't tell me what to do. They don't judge me. They simply listen. And we all need that one or two people, those one or two people, who will simply listen. And it could even be as casual a friend as that person who bags your groceries at Walmart. I'm serious about that. It's just that important to talk to another and let them know how you're feeling. When someone says, how do you feel? To be able to say, I feel horrible. Grief is kicking my butt today, and I've done nothing but cry for the past week straight. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't do anything. I miss my child, or I miss my husband, or I miss everything about my life that was normal. Nothing feels right anymore, and I don't know if I'll ever get it back. When we're grieving like that, it's important to express our grief to another. If you absolutely have no one around you, write it down. It helps to see it on paper, because I promise you, in a week, you're not going to feel the same way. Your grief will lift a bit, and I promise you it will. Grief is a beast that comes and goes, and it snaps at us, it bites us, and then it backs off for a while and becomes a little more tamed. So though that one thing has helped me the most is to generate those 1 or 2 friends in my life who I can share my innermost thoughts with. I learned from my first loss, when I did not do that, I suffered greatly. When my baby was born, stillborn, I didn't share very much with anyone. And I fell into a 2-year depression that was horrible. I couldn't move, literally. I stayed most of the time on my couch. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I suffered so much needlessly. If only I had known that I could share with someone else. The next one is, the next thing that has helped me so very much is to rely on God. And I know some of you at this point in time, you don't have a relationship with God, and that's okay. I totally get it. When we suffer losses that are huge and deep and long and life-changing, we often get upset with God. We question God. We question the very existence of a God in our life. But I promise you, if you begin reading through the Psalms, start with Psalm 23. It's a psalm that most of us are all familiar with. Go to a quiet place every day, read that psalm, and simply meditate on it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. When I tell you that God fulfills that promise, I mean it. I have felt to the point of such emptiness that I didn't even know that I had air left in me to breathe. God rescued me. God has taken me and been my friend when I had no other. God has listened to me. I've poured my heart out many, many, many times in my grief to God, and my prayers for peace internally have been answered, and yours will be too. I'd like to talk more to you each week on this beast of grief and how grief has many different faces and appears many different ways in our lives. So we will be continuing this next week with our Moments with Clara. I hope that something I've said today is an encouragement to you. Just form a friendship. If don't say that you can't, you can. If nothing else, email me, go online, find a support group online, talk to someone, share your heart when you are hurting. It helps. A shared grief comes out to be half of that grief. I promise you, that's how it works. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me spend time with you. And we'll call it a day this time with this Moments with Clara.